Well guys, there's 3 items I could possibly recommend. I like to use Polyterra printing. It's the matte version of Polymaker. Polyterra. Also Elegoo. Again, the matte Elegoo, matte PLA is very good. Something to stay away from is Creality or Ender PLA. I've had nothing but nightmares from this stuff. And in general, I would say keep away from any shiny PLA. Just stay away from it. So look at all this stuff. Let's see what we got here. Elegoo, Polyterra, more Polyterra, Elegoo, the anatomy of a scout helmet. In this case, I made each segment as a unique color so that you could see it better. It doesn't matter what color you print it in, because in the end you're going to paint it a color, and it really does get totally covered up. So you don't have to worry if you use a bunch of different weird colors. In this case, I'm just interested in treating it like an anatomy model where you can see the different parts really clearly. The front piece is the mask. This handles the communication system and some detectors. There isn't any filtration in this front piece, but it does have detectors and it does have sensors. And it basically handles the optics and the communication. Also, pay attention to the fact that there is this shape here. Pay attention to that. Pay very close attention to this shape. And we're gonna talk more about this particular shape later. The back section is the life support. This is where there are filters, and this is where the breathing and life support occurs, is in this back section. This also has the hearing senses. They're not very subtle about that either, because they're literally shaped like ears. The Scout Trooper also has a bulbous segment here, like the Imperial Troopers. This bulbous area holds the life support. And also here are some of those classic shapes. So the Scout Trooper is one tiny step from an Imperial Stormtrooper. Okay guys, well, something I realized about how Star Wars guns are named, because I know a little bit from being exposed to the National Guard that guns have naming conventions. The M16 has a 16-inch barrel. The Car-15 has a 15-inch barrel. So when I see a name like EC-17, which is this little guy right here from Return of the Jedi, I wonder, what is the 17 referring to? This little barrel is 17 centimeters. So it follows European conventions. The EC-17 has a 17 centimeter barrel, which is incredibly short. So like all Star Wars blasters, the EC-17 is also based on a real-world gun. Do you know which one that is? It's actually called the Zip-22. Check it out. Sorry, the DC-15 as being more based on the M60, honestly. As you can see here, the trigger group and the handle is not a regular ergonomic MG36 handle. I've only seen these kind of handles 2 places in my life, and that's when it's mounted to a vehicle. There's usually a more squared off, less ergonomic hand grip that is added to the gun when it's going to be mounted on a vehicle. This bad boy right here, the DC-15, has, guess what, a 15-inch barrel when you measure it from the breech up to the muzzle brake. It's 15 inches. So the DC-15 is following the American convention of naming the gun after how many inches the barrel is. And there, each one of these is about 2 pounds. So this has 1, 2, 3. It has about 5 of these embedded in there. Oh my God. So one thing I can say for sure about the Clone Troopers is that it's definitely for the boys, because this thing is absolutely insane. This thing is definitely a crew weapon that is being completely serviced by one man, and that is a Clone Trooper. Possibly the largest blaster and possibly the smallest blaster in Star Wars.